these foods and said, yes, the process of genetic engineering can take a non-toxic food and make it toxic. It can create new allergens. It can lower nutrition in food. It can lower our immune response. And in certain cases, we've even seen these foods have the potential to create cancer, certain of this technology. So the answer is in on whether GM foods are lethal or toxic. Yes, the very process can make a safe food and turn it into a toxic food and potentially a lethal food. The objective of Monsanto is clear. Monsanto has become the largest seed company in the world. Monsanto is in the process of buying up all the seeds of the world, which they then want to patent and control so that farmers will not be able to save those seeds. And they want to genetically engineer those seeds, and they want to put something called Terminator technology in those seeds. And this has those seeds create suicide after one growing season so that farmers cannot save those seeds. So what Monsanto's really after is controlling all the seeds of the earth and making sure that the farmers of the earth cannot save those seeds. This becomes extremely important when you realize that 80% of all the farmers of the world depend on seed saving for their survival. So if Monsanto is able, either through patenting or through this Terminator technology, to destroy their ability to save seeds, the result will be mass starvation.
Garrett was surprised to learn that controlling pests and all the other reasons chemicals are applied, including artificial fertilizers, is completely unnecessary. There are dozens of institutions in the U.S. alone that strive to declare the good news of sustainable agriculture. Dr. Paul Hepperly demonstrated to us through many seed and field trial studies the amazing ways in which plants thrive and outperform chemically dependent fields. In many instances, the crop yields far exceed chemically treated farms. The studies are extensive, repetitive, and uplifting to anyone who cherishes good health. Dr. Gerson stated that the soil is our external metabolism. It must be free of sprays and poisons, or the body cannot heal. With chemical agriculture, the water that comes from your tap may contain much more than fluoride and chlorine. And there's another food treatment process that could still threaten your health.
What we have found with the irradiation of food is it does not just kill the bacteria, which is what it's used for, but actually molecularly changes the food. It creates something in food called free radicals. These are novel molecular elements in the food that have never been there before. For example, in normal foods, we've seen the creation of benzene, which is a known carcinogen. And we've seen a number of other toxic elements in these food created because of the irradiation that fundamentally alter that food. So we have an ethical responsibility to eat well. The beautiful truth is that people around the world are saying no to GM foods, they're saying no to irradiation, they're saying no to food additives, and they're saying yes to organic food and beyond organic food. They're saying yes to food that is local, that is appropriate scale, that is humane, that's biodiverse, and that's socially just.
Garrett thought that one way to stop some of this is by the way we vote, if indeed you can trust the voting machines to work right. How could a man who was curing cancer and chronic disease over 80 years ago be so misunderstood? It was now even within reach for this 15-year-old boy to understand. Is it at this point a race against time to consider the gift Gerson offered the world so long ago before we exceed the tipping point merely from an environmental standpoint? During the course of our travel, Garrett noted an article in the paper about obesity. After what he had learned, it wasn't a bit surprising. With all these chemicals and craving for more chemicals and more refined foods and sugar, we are bound to be obese and die that way. The Ohio Valley is the casket-making capital of the world. Naturally, the boy had wondered what eventually happens to an oversized dead person. Here at Goliath Casket Company, this family-owned business is experiencing a booming market. which Garrett credited to pharmaceutical drugs, MSG, aspartame, vaccines, food irradiation, genetically modified foods, dental amalgams, water fluoridation, and root canals, to name a few. Even the standard-sized casket is an inch wider than it used to be.
Most people won't get in one because they're afraid to do that. That's a omen, bad omen.
This would actually be quite nice for a cabin up in Alaska in the summer. You can close the lid in there, you wouldn't get any light, and you could sleep better.
Most of the people are not taller, but they're wider and deeper. One of the issues we have with oversized obesity and oversized people is that they're very wide and they're also very much thicker or deeper. So our caskets have to be designed to accommodate this problem. Also, when they ask for a cremation, and many times they cannot do the cremation because the doors on the retort aren't big enough. Also, if they can do that, they have to be very careful of how they process the body in the retort to prevent the retort from catching on fire because of all the excess body fluids that may catch on fire and also cause the retort to burn down.